Good evening and thank you for joining us. There's been a significant development regarding the Thunder Bay Police Service and its board. Late this afternoon, the Ontario Civilian Police Commission announced the appointment of an administrator to oversee the Thunder Bay Police Services Board for at least 6 months. It's the second time in the past 4 years that such a move has been made. In a release, the OCPC says it has concerns about the board's oversight of the police force and the delivery of police services to the community. This comes following numerous human rights complaints about police leadership, an ongoing external investigation by the OPP, and calls for the police force to be disbanded. The administrator this time around is Malcolm Mercer, who currently serves as chair of the Law Society Tribunal. His task is to restore proper governance and ensure the police board is providing adequate oversight of city police, along with re-establishing public confidence in local policing. Mercer will also have the lone vote on the board and full power to make any necessary changes. Officials with the police board declined to comment on the situation this afternoon. Well, the appointment of that administrator didn't come up at the Police Services Board's monthly meeting this morning. Instead, the board members discussed skyrocketing legal expenses and got an update on the city's Eye on the Street surveillance camera program. Vasilios Bellows reports.
The Thunder Bay Police Services Board's first quarter budget update saw legal fees having a significant impact on spending. It resulted in what is being called an estimated $200,000 unfavorable variance during the monthly meeting. John Hannum is the board secretary and explained more about the legal expenses.
The human rights complaints that have been filed against the board, and so a lot of activity there, and that's what's driving the budget. So we've essentially spent 2/3 of what we've already budgeted for legal in the first quarter. And at this stage of the game, that is expected to continue at that pace, at least for the next few months, and then hopefully things will settle out.
The human rights complaints in question were filed against the police force, Chief Sylvie Hoth, and other top leaders, along with officials on the police board. The Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario has not yet said whether any of the complaints merit a full investigation. Board Chair Kristen Oliver said they hope to control costs in areas aside from legal fees to mitigate the $200,000 estimate.
Some outside help maybe in terms of developing policies, those types of things, doing some consultation with the community. We engage professional stakeholders and those types of things. So we may look at streamlining that a little bit differently, maybe not engaging so much this year. Maybe we'll move it into 2023 when we have a better idea of where a lot of these current legal costs are certainly going to be sitting by next year.
A presentation was also provided on the Eye on the Street program renewal project, which sees quality surveillance cameras in 20 city locations. Chris Adams is the Director of Communication and Technology for the board and explained the importance of these upgrades.
Can also aid in ongoing investigations such as gang investigations. It allows for the tracking of vehicles, but more importantly, there are locations now that we did not have before that we really needed to have.
The Eye on the Street program was originally launched in 2005 with 12 locations, but the cameras became less reliable as they aged and their quality declined. The Police Services Board is optimistic this renewal will mean the program is more effective, promoting public safety for years to come. Vasilios Bellows, TBT News.
A major search effort continues south of Wawa after a small plane mysteriously disappeared from radar signals 5 days ago. The flight was set to make a stop in the town of Marathon after departing from southern Ontario. The search for the aircraft and its 2 occupants is being led by the Royal Canadian Air Force, but poor weather hindered that effort yesterday. Worried family members have identified the pilot as Brian Slingerland and his passenger as John Fair. The plane is believed to have gone down somewhere between Sault Ste. Marie and Wawa. A number of military aircraft, along with a Coast Guard helicopter, have been performing visual searches day and night and using devices that can pick up and hone emergency locator signals. Major Trevor Reed at the Joint Rescue Center in Trenton says every moment counts as the search is still considered a rescue mission.
We take things literally minute by minute, hour by hour. As part of our search efforts, we have a very methodical process that we follow per the Canadian Search and Rescue Manual, and we obviously don't look too far forward ahead. We really operate in the here and the now, and that's certainly what we are doing.
Family members say the plane was recently purchased and was being transported from Ontario to Alberta. Ontario Provincial Police say no charges will be laid against the driver of a transport that was involved in a dramatic crash near Kenora this past weekend. The single vehicle collision occurred around 7 o'clock Sunday morning on the Highway 17A bypass. Kenora OPP say the driver of the transport lost control and the vehicle flipped over into a ditch. Diesel fuel was leaking from the tractor trailer and EMS and fire crews attended the scene along with police. The driver was sent to hospital with minor injuries. OPP say no charges are warranted as melting snow and slippery road conditions appeared to be the main cause of the incident. A 26-year-old Toronto man has been arrested in connection to a home takeover on the city's south side. Police arrested the suspect inside a Leith Street home on Saturday evening. Officers seized suspected cocaine and drug trafficking paraphernalia, as well as more than $5,000 in cash. The accused has been remanded into custody. The Thunder Bay District Health Unit is reporting another COVID-19 related death. 86 people have now died with the virus since the pandemic began, and there are 2 new COVID outbreaks today as well. The District Health Unit has declared a COVID-19 outbreak at the Southbridge Roseview Care Home. It's in the area of the facility known as the Cheshire Unit. And there are now 2 outbreaks at Hogarth Riverview Manor, the latest in the Daffodil or 1N resident area. There are now 5 active outbreaks in care homes across the city. The others are at Pioneer Ridge and St. Joseph's Hospital. COVID-19 cases have also increased dramatically over the past week. The health unit is reporting 318 new infections since its previous update, which came last Wednesday. There are now 233 active cases across the district. Of course, case counts are under estimates due to testing restrictions across the province. The latest incidence and test positivity rates have also risen sharply. Last week, there were more than 255 cases per 100,000 people, up from 139 cases the week before. And the percentage of positive PCR tests nearly doubled, rising from 13.8% to 25.8%. Cases are up at the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Centre as well over the last 24 hours. There are now 21 COVID-19 patients inside the facility, up from 16. 4 of those patients are in the ICU. The hospital's occupancy rate has risen to nearly 107%, while the occupancy rate inside the intensive care unit jumped to nearly 82%. Superior High School welcomed local MP and Cabinet Minister Patty Hajdu as a guest speaker today. She delivered a motivational talk to grade 11 and 12 students.
I had dropped out of school and I moved back to Thunder Bay, and I felt like a complete failure. I felt like I could not succeed.
Hajdu spoke on a number of topics, from her role in government to her own past struggles after moving to Thunder Bay at 11 years old. She faced problems at home and at school, which, as you heard there, led her to drop out. But Hajdu told the teens it's never too late, especially if you reach out to those who can help. She returned to school at age 27 and says that decision set her free. The students in attendance also got a chance to ask her some tough questions. Hajdu says that's very important, as these young people will soon be the ones leading changes across Canada.
I really wanted to, first of all, impart, some messaging around how important it is that we reach out to people that don't immediately seem like us, or that don't fit into the larger crowd, or that are struggling, and the value in that. But I thought the questions around reconciliation and Indigenous rights, the discovery of residential school remains, those were all very powerful questions.
It puts into perspective that even people who we see are so powerful are just people, and that those who are struggling can still be powerful and strong and move past their challenges.
Being more open and talking to people about my struggles, I think, would help me. That's what I took from what she was talking about, talking to teachers, being open more with friends and even family, I think.
There's a new exhibit at the Thunder Bay Art Gallery featuring dozens of sculptures from talented local artist Katie Lemieux. The exhibit, called Ending Up, is now open for public viewing. It's an accumulation of 8 years of Lemieux's work. The sculptures range from smaller pieces with impressive detail to larger works that immediately catch the eye. A few of the main themes she wanted to make clear include expression and nonverbal communication. Lemieux says she's happy she can share her work with the community and explains what she wants people to get out of the experience.
Know that there is contemporary sculpture in the city. There is ceramic sculpture available to see. There's artists here that do make work that is slightly on the edge of macabre or something a little bit more edgy. There are so many young artists here that are interested in this, and it's not very often where you get to see sort of sculptures that are larger than you in a city like Thunder Bay.
Ending Up will be on display at the Art Gallery for the next 2 months until June 19th. And a fantastic display that is.